Great. So I think we have covered up most of the things that we needed to talk about with regards to the initial introduction that we had to do on web services and the representational style of developing the same. I didn't do much of comparison with other technologies. I just bulleted those points that okay, we have SOAP and we have others which did fill the gap over a period of time. But the focus was just that we need to remember HTTP as the protocol that will be used for developing and consuming our RESTful web services. We don't use any other protocol beyond HTTP. We use the various methods of HTTP protocol, for example, GET, POST, and there are many others, but commonly we have identified GET, POST, PUT, and DELETE, out of which only GET and POST is what we actually use in live projects. You will not find an example on a RESTful web service so regularly found where we are also using PUT and DELETE. For learning purpose we might do it, but practically speaking, just keep your focus only on GET and POST. Whenever you are developing web services, GET and POST is sufficient for everything. So there are only rare cases where you might end up using PUT and DELETE. So we'll use the various methods of HTTP protocol to develop and consume our web services. That's it. In Java as a technology which we use, there are many options we have for learning the same, the APIs and all the common things that we are interested in. So one of the official APIs that we can use for developing web services and consuming, it's called as JAX-RS, the RESTful Service API for Java. And we can use many alternatives also. I can use Spring Framework, and there are many other names that we can talk about. So these are two popular options that you will find today available for we Java developers to learn and use the standard API provided. Spring has its own API which provides us, we can say comparatively, is JAX-RS API powerful or is the Spring API powerful? That can be debated. Spring has its own set of features for which it is actually so popular, but it provides very good support for web services. So when I do a comparison between these two, I won't say there's much to worry about. So as a developer, JAX-RS is one of the most popularly used API in Java for developing and consuming web services. Spring also, yes, it has a good share in the market today. And at the same time, Spring provides full support for JAX-RS. So the support for JAX-RS is found in Spring also. So Spring is one of the framework which has been designed in such a way that it doesn't mandates that if you want to use Spring, you should use my features only. No, it's not like that. So it supports all the standards which are in place. So I can write a code in Spring which is not using the annotations of Spring, but it is using the JAX-RS annotations, and the code will successfully work in Spring Framework. So Spring is called as a non-invasive framework, and this non-invasiveness means it doesn't let you do that tight coupling with the framework. Your code can be written in a very neutral way. So Spring is a very good choice for developing web services today. But apart from Spring, what other options we have as our runtime? We can use Jersey. We can use many other frameworks over here, CXF, and there are many other names. You might hear about Jersey a lot. This is a very popularly used runtime as an alternative to Spring, primarily for web services I'm talking about. I'm not saying that we are completely replacing Spring. So for developing web services, Jersey runtime can also be used very commonly. It's a production ready, and I have seen in many applications people are using this happily. CXF from Apache and many other names over here are also there, but these are some of the ones which we can remember for the time being. Alright, so I would like to end my discussion over here. Thank you so much. I hope you got something out of this session. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.